All right, let me see if this temporary fix works. Okay, it does. Good morning and welcome to Mo Knows featuring me, Monica Mo Justice. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit another video all because of sound. Okay, here we go. Whoop, going backing it all the way up. All right, and that's kind of my fault because I removed that thing yesterday. So it's critical. I must keep it. All right. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Today is the first of the month. It's the first of the month. Um what are we doing here on Monos? Um we are getting our acts together. Hold up. I said I wasn't. It looks like this thing is working. So let me see if this thing is working and we'll try this for a second. We'll try this for a second and see if it works. So it doesn't look like that's gonna work. Can't get everything to work in the morning. But I need just a little more time. It's a little more time. But I was saying that we're now in the second month of the new year, and things are starting to look pretty darn good. It's looking pretty darn good out here. Um, on in Motown. It's looking pretty good in Motown. Um, we're up to the financial challenge. So I put it out there. I've listened, I've heard, and I've overruled the influencers. And as usual, what is an influencer? I got to go back and make sure that I make it clear who are influencers, right? I started this channel in 2018. There are a core group of folks that been riding with me since 2018, 2019, the first two seasons. And I've always thought of the influencers as the individuals who assist me in keeping this orderly here. They're my backbone to some degree, and they steer the direction that I go in. Sometimes they're supposed to be able to ring me in and bring me back on topic when I get off. They have a silent role that is important, right? So those are the influences. And I have a core group of influencers, and then I have a wider body group of influencers. So I reached out recently talking about changes on the channel, and one of the things that we all wanted to discuss was really our finances and try to map out ways. No one's an expert here. We're not financial consultants. We're just folks with a desire to do something a little bit differently in 2022 to bring us to a financial security, because there's a lot of financial insecurity out here. There's a lot of insecurities out here. One of the ones that we wanted to address as a goal for 2022 was our financial. And we're not going to say we was insecure in the first place, but we're going to say that we're looking for financial security. So brings me to one, creating a budget. So now that you guys have seen the budget, you laid it out, then we came and we tweaked it and we cleared it up. Mine's is looking mighty sexy there with the numbers actually put in and me being able to function with my budget, what I need to have, and then what my actuals are. I have not finished plotting all of January's actuals in there so I can see where I am, but I hope that you have gotten at least your list down and you've gotten those things ticked off. So anyway, we go to our first challenge, And this is going to be a challenge. It is a no spend challenge for the entire month of February. You only got 28 days. So, it's a hit or miss. So what happened? I put this out here and folks push back as usual. I'm like, no. Y'all don't get to win. This is being financially secure has a price. If you look at the thumbnail, I quoted Henry David Thoreau. The price of everything is the amount of life you exchange for it. The price of everything is the amount of life you exchange for it. So we're going to have to buckle down in the month of February and deal with our no spend. Now, this is a challenge. This is going to be a challenge. That's why it's a challenge, because we got some big weeks coming in the month of February. Let's knock them off. We've got Valentine's Day. That's what many push back on me, saying it's Valentine's Day. I must spend for Valentine's Day. I see the stream. Hold on a second. Let me just see one more thing in my settings if it's something I could change. Okay. Unfortunately, there's not much I could do with this. So here's where we are. I know the stream still is having Wi-Fi issues. I live in the worst block for Wi-Fi, because the squirrels eat the wires outside. Believe it or not, they run across there, and I don't know what they do. I don't know why they would be gnawing on them, but we get a lot of cable fibers need to be replaced. And there's a lot of trees in this area, but y'all know because y'all Googled my address or whatever y'all did. Okay, back to the no spend challenge, because we seem to be good streaming right now. So what is the goal of a no spend challenge? It's designed to save money by not, and it should be fun, right? But it's designed to save money by not spending on impulsive shopping. So listen to the language. It is where you do not indulge in impulsive shopping for a period of time. What does that mean, Monica? Does that mean I don't pay my car note that month? Does it mean that I cannot pay my light bill that month because I'm on a no spend? No. No. It's a period of time. And for our challenge, it is going to be I wish y'all would listen. Listen. Listening is important. Okay. It is for a period of time without spending money except on necessities. All your bills are paid during that period of time. And as with all addictions, there must be an exception. There must be something in place to ensure that you do not fall short of your goal, right? Because we want everyone to be successful. So in this spend challenge, you will be given one exception. So for me, I need to get my nails done because I did not get my nails done before the end of the month. And I thought about it and I was like, well, I'm going to have to get them done this month in February. Government assistants will be up in there getting their nails done and it'll just be a hell of a mess. So I'm going to have to settle to get mine done on the weekend when it's less traffic. So with that, this particular challenge for the month, the 28 days, you get to have on your 28 day one exception for impulse shopping. You get to choose that. And that's how we're going to lay it out for our no spend challenge. So shout out to QST, Mutt Mutt. We was over in Clarendon's, which is really LMNOP last night. And we was brainstorming how to critique the challenge. And I gave it some more thought. And this is the final challenge. This is what our... So this is the final challenge in its entirety. For the month, so just to repeat, for the month of February, you will not do any impulsive shopping for the next 28 days, including today. You will only buy the things that you need, not the things that you want. And you will identify one exception so that you do not fail the challenge. Okay, so there we are with that. On Friday, we will see how you guys made it through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll reconvene on Friday and see how the first 3 days went of the no spend challenge. So I hope that many of you who are in, I'll put a poll on the community wall Thursday that we can discuss openly on Friday when we do Financial Fridays. So I look forward to you guys participating in the challenge, and I hope that your challenges have been met, that you accept the challenge. All right, moving on. Next order of business, because it's Two Thoughts Tuesday and 2 court cases that we continue to follow. One, the Kyle Rittenhouse case, and the so it's not the Ahmaud Arbery case, but most people refer to it as the Ahmaud Arbery case, and I dislike that terminology because it's the McMichael's case. The victim should never be the person that the focal point is about the case. Because he was not the criminal. The criminals in there was the McMichaels. I don't know why. You notice in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, we do not know the names. I can't tell you off the top of my head other than Huber. Oh, maybe I could tell you who they are, who the victims were inside that case, because we just know it's Kyle Rittenhouse. So what happened this week? They returned to court to deal with the claims to deal with the property in the Kyle. So Kyle Rittenhouse, you may recall, is the Wisconsin man who shot and killed two men and injured another man during a protest. All people were breaking the curfew, mind you, in that case, but during a curfew, during a protest. Anyway, he was acquitted, which means he was not found guilty of any of the charges that the state lodged against him. Consequently, he was seeking the return of the gun, or they was dealing with the issues related to the gun. He wasn't really seeking the return of the gun, what should be done with the gun. So Kyle petitioned the court to destroy the gun because they did not want the guy who bought the gun for him, who is the legal owner of the gun at the time. I forgot the word that they used to describe that there was supposed to be an exchange. It was like it was a loaner or something, but they have some fancy word for it, which means that he illegally purchased the gun for the other dude, and he was holding it like a surrogate situation until he was old enough to legally have the gun. So they needed to transfer ownership to the next. So it technically, at the time of the incident, belonged to the person who purchased it. And they did not want the person who purchased it to be able to go back and sell it for profit, because it was the Kyle Rittenhouse gun. So the gun will be destroyed. So they came to an agreement that the gun would be destroyed. Okay, second issue that came up was the bail, and who the bail should be returned to. So that was a big deal on the that was a big deal about who should get the bail money back, who posted the bond, how it should be returned. So it was a back and forth. Fight Back Foundation and the hedge fund. There was a hedge fund that put a lien basically against the money, saying that it was a loan or it was a debt of one of the people who posted owed somebody money, and they were trying to collect on this money. Which is interesting, because you could put a lien on some money if so. It was presented in court by Kyle's attorneys that the money in question was part of that the person that put the money out owed him some money and didn't pay, and they wanted to get their money back. And this is a large amount of money that's going to be returned to somebody that owes their company money, and they wanted to affect the lien on it. But for some reason, they didn't present it like that inside the court. They made it sound like they were the persons that gave the money to the person who funded this thing in the first place. So so now the money would be returned to him. It was really whatever. Of course, that judge ruled that the money should go back to whomever the original posters of the bond was, and they'll have to get their money however which way they get it. It was weird. All right, let's just say that. It was weird. But I guess that kind of closes out the Rittenhouse matter for now in terms of legal things on the docket. Moving on, let's discuss what happened yesterday in the Ahmaud Arbery case. And I got to give you some preferences based on my thought. And this is just my opinions. You are entitled to come formulate your own opinion, discuss your own opinion on this, because this is my opinion at this point. when you are the victim of a crime, this part here is a fact. You don't own the prosecutors. They don't work for you, the victim. They work on your behalf. No, I'm not even going to say that. They work on behalf of the client. And the client is the state. It is the state of whatever against the person. So in this case, the McMichaels. It is the U.S. government against the McMichaels. It is not Ahmaud Arbery's parents against the McMichaels at all. It is the state. They consult with you. They consider your feelings in the situation. They keep you informed. But you don't run the shit. And I feel like, this is my opinion, there's a false sense of how the process goes based on how these people are presenting themselves. It's like, we don't want them to spend time in federal jail. We want them to stay in county jail, blah, 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 blah. But you're the same people. This is a consequence of your request. See, if you didn't request for federal government to intervene, you wouldn't be in a situation right now that they might win a better night's stay of incarceration. Now, this might sound weird coming from me, but I present legal arguments from a 360 point of view. I give the perspective of the prosecutor, the defendants, the victims, as well as the court, the jurors, and then I come up with my 13th. I come in as the 13th juror. But this is not how the system works. So this is an anomaly. Maybe this is a new privilege. Maybe this is the Ahmaud Arbery privilege. But it's not the norm. And they have a false. It's up there with the Botham Jean family, feeling like they could forgive Amber Geiger and she doesn't have to get that much time. See, this was wrong with people of color folks. I said that. This was wrong. Y'all get a little bit of justice, a little bit of power, and you done turned this all the way upside down and all around. Okay, do I agree with the decision of the judge? I really don't understand it. I need more foundation. But what I will tell you from what my experience has been and based on the knowledge that I have, unless the charges brought against him in federal court constitute a 30-year sentence in a federal jail, they didn't have the authority to make that kind of decision. So this is what I'm saying to you. If they are charged with a crime in federal court and they plead guilty to it, and the sentence for it is not 30 years, but it's a lesser number, you can only enter into agreement with what is within your jurisdiction. So hopefully you can understand that. It might have been outside their jurisdiction to make that call on how long they will stay in a federal jail. But this isn't obvious. Once you are being tried even in a federal court and you're not given bail or bond because you are being detained currently by the state, you are transferred from the state system to the federal system until your case is heard there. Federal time will trump state time in terms of you will stay inside the federal jail and do your federal time, and then when your federal time is done, then you will do your state time. Now the question is, what are they going to give federal time on top of state time? or were they going to get federal time concurrent with state time? On top of is consecutive, meaning that they would still have to do their 30 years plus 25 plus whatever the feds give them, or would it just go along with their 30 and 25? Is this a sentence for whatever they're being charged with on the federal level? Is this a crime that's punishable by 30 years of federal time? If it is, then I guess they would stay in a federal jail. But when you're dealing with your attorneys, an attorney has an obligation to present you with all the possibilities that they're aware of when they present to their client what the case is as a whole. They are responsible to you to give you a whole picture, what it's supposed to be, the whole picture. So I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to me. Evolve sent me something to listen to that I didn't listen to because y'all know how I do. I need to put my thoughts out there first. Now I'll listen to what she says, what she sent me, and I'll gather other people's opinions on the situation, and I'll come back and tell you if I think differently. But those are my thoughts, and those are my first thoughts on the topic, and my feelings. So I wanted to bring that out here first, and then I'll come back and I'll do another live later on the week, probably on Thursday, which is Thinking Out Loud Thursday. So I will be coming back on Thursday, and I'll think out loud on this topic. Okay? I think that is where I stand on this. They have, and it'll be a good thing to come back and talk about on Thursday, because they have until Friday because you're always given 3 days, really, to enter into an agreement. You have 3 days to back out of an agreement. So the judge gave them till Friday to come back to court the judge was accepting their guilty plea to see if they wanted to keep their guilty plea or go to trial. And if they chose to go to trial, then that means the trial would start on Monday. And based on the reporting that came out of the court yesterday, I'm not confident with all of these reporters that were reporting out information. This is why I really despise federal cases, because you got to depend on mainstream media to bring you the details. So this is when your knowledge has to be you have to use more or less common sense or legal sense in processing the information that comes out by the media. So what does that mean for Mo? If you don't have eyes inside the courtroom, and how do you determine, Mo, what's what? Simple answer. I then listen to both sides of the news spectrum. I listen to the crazies that I normally don't listen to. And then I listen to the people that I normally listen to. And then somewhere in the middle, I make a determination of how I feel on the subject. That's how Mo does it. It is not an antidote for all. I'm just telling you how I process the information. You're welcome to use that method or share with me in the comments below the method that you use. When you don't have all of the facts, what are your authoritative sources for your information? In cases like this, I tend to go to the people I normally listen to and the opposition so that I can hear two sides of the spectrum and then come to a conclusion. I don't do that with all things, but I do it on things that I'm not certain of the accuracy, or but it's not the accuracy, because both sides normally report the same thing, but the bias kills me. So then I have to listen to the bias on both ends of it. Anyway, that's just the way things go in the real world, unfortunately. But all right, so this broadcast was brought to you by the M and